Why do you feel the need to prove yourself to everyone around you? Why do their words, their judgments, their endless noise make your chest tighten and your mind spin? You've been there, haven't you? Stuck in conversations that go nowhere, arguments that drain you, battles that leave your heart racing and your soul exhausted. You leave the room feeling smaller, frustrated, like you gave away pieces of yourself for nothing. And yet, you keep showing up, hoping this time will be different, hoping that someone will finally see your point, hear your voice, validate your thoughts. But deep down, you already know, it rarely happens. Most of the time, the louder you speak, the less you're understood. There's a strange paradox hiding in plain sight. The world tells us that winning an argument means speaking first, speaking louder, speaking longer, that the power of your mind is measured by the volume of your words. And maybe for a while, you believed it. You raised your voice, matched anger with anger, tried to convince with facts, with logic, with passion. But what did it get you? Tension, misunderstanding, exhaustion. A sense that your energy, your clarity, your time slipped through your fingers while the noise grew louder around you. There is a truth few are willing to admit. Arguments rarely change minds. They change tempers. They drain life from the person who fights the hardest. But there's another way, a path that feels quiet at first, almost invisible, yet it carries a weight no words can match. It's the path of silence. Not the empty kind, the fearful kind, but the deliberate, calculated silence that demands presence, that holds space, that quietly reshapes the room. You might think silence is weakness, that it is surrender. But it is the exact opposite. Silence is control. Silence is power. It is the ability to measure your words like gold, to conserve your energy while others burn theirs. It is the understanding that sometimes the mind speaks louder than the mouth ever could. Imagine a moment where you stay calm while chaos surrounds you, where voices rise and accusations fly, yet your breath remains steady, your mind sharp. You don't react immediately. You don't try to prove yourself. You observe. You notice. Every contradiction, every flaw, every hidden tension becomes visible. You become a quiet force, unshaken by the noise, unbroken by the push of others. And in that stillness, you hold a secret advantage, the advantage of clarity. Clarity is rare because most people are trapped in the illusion that being seen or heard first is power, but intelligence recognizes a deeper rhythm. It understands that the mind is most potent when it is not scattered by the futile struggle to dominate, when it is not frayed by the constant push and pull of opinion. Silence sharpens thinking. Silence preserves dignity. Silence allows the truth to breathe, to reveal itself naturally, and those who speak only to react rarely see it coming. Think about the last time you argued with someone, trying to convince them, trying to push them to your point of view. Do you remember the tension, the frustration, the endless back and forth? And now imagine if instead you had stayed silent. If you had listened instead of reacting. If you had allowed the other person's words to spill into emptiness while you observed, while you absorbed, while you calculated. You would have retained your strength. You would have held your presence. You would have understood more than you ever could by shouting louder. Intelligent people do not argue for the sake of winning. They do not need validation from every voice around them. They understand that energy is finite, that time is precious, and that not every battle deserves a fight. Their silence is a tool, a shield, a strategy. It is the quiet assertion of power that requires no applause, no recognition, no external reward. And in that silence, they find freedom. The freedom to think clearly, to act decisively, to live without being dragged into the chaos of others. So when the next argument rises, when the tension builds and the voices grow, consider this. Your strength is not measured by how loudly you respond. Your intelligence is not proven by the volume of your voice. It is measured by your ability to remain unshaken, to listen, to observe, to choose when words are necessary and when they are not. In that stillness, you hold the key to control, clarity, and quiet power. And once you grasp it, you'll never feel small in a room full of noise again. Every moment you spend reacting, arguing, trying to prove yourself, you give away a part of your power. Every heated exchange chips away at your focus, drains your energy, and clouds your judgment. Most people are trapped in the illusion that engagement equals strength, that voice equals victory. They don't see that the true battlefield is invisible, fought inside the mind, in the space where clarity meets peace. Patience. The louder the world shouts, the more you can rise above it by saying nothing at all. Silence is not emptiness, it is strategy. It is a quiet weapon sharper than words, stronger than anger, unstoppable, because it is unseen. You can feel it already, can't you? That tension in your chest, the echo of arguments past, the frustration of wasted energy, Imagine channeling all of that, not into reaction, but into awareness, not into proving, but into understanding. When you stop rushing to respond, you start seeing patterns. You start noticing the cracks in logic, the inconsistencies, the raw motives behind every word spoken. You see what others miss, and in that seeing, you gain control. You gain insight, you gain a clarity that leaves others scrambling to catch up while you remain untouchable, calm, deliberate. Every person around you becomes a mirror. Their impatience, their defensiveness, their need to dominate, all of it reflects back to you like a study in human behavior. And why? They fight for temporary satisfaction. You hold something far more powerful: perspective. Perspective is the silent strength that shapes decisions before a word is even spoken. Perspective allows you to act with precision, to conserve energy, to avoid the traps that ensnare so many others. You realize that most arguments aren't about truth. They are about ego, about dominance, about the need to be right. And once you see this, the stakes become clear. You cannot afford to waste your mind and your life on the petty battles that drain others. This is where the intelligent diverges from the reactive. They feel the pull to engage, the temptation to defend, the urge to speak first. But they pause, they breathe, they calculate. Every word they choose is deliberate, every silence intentional. The world mistakes their calm for weakness, but it is anything but. Every pause amplifies their presence, every restrained response multiplies their influence. People reveal themselves when confronted with someone who does not react. Truth surfaces in the quiet, contradictions are exposed, and clarity emerges where chaos once ruled. You can choose to be part of the noise, to chase validation through argument, to waste your life proving things to people who will never see your worth. Or you can choose the path of silent mastery. Every choice to pause, to listen, to resist the urge to react compounds your strength. You become a force that moves through the world, unshaken, unbroken, and undeniably in control. The more you embrace this, the more urgent it becomes. Every wasted reaction is a lost opportunity. Every unmeasured word is a loss of presence. Every argument is a chance to grow or a chance to wither. The stakes are real. The world does not reward every outburst. Recognition is fleeting. Praise is shallow. But the strength of silence is permanent. It is yours. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be diluted. It allows you to act with precision, to influence without shouting, to win without fighting. And when you finally step into this way of being, the transformation is unmistakable. Others may still scream, still argue, still demand attention, but you, standing steady in your power, become the eye in the storm. The one who sees clearly, acts decisively, and moves with purpose while everyone else is lost in the chaos they create. Do not underestimate this. Every conversation you enter, every challenge you face, every moment of tension is a chance to wield your silence, to assert control, to gain clarity, to rise above the noise. Do not let the fleeting need to be heard rob you of lasting strength. Your intelligence, your power, your presence grows in the space between words, in the restraint of action, in the mastery of stillness. Those who understand this will always lead, always influence, always endure. And now, it is your turn to choose, to step into the quiet and claim the advantage that no argument, no conflict, and no voice can ever take from you. Every you choose silence over reaction, you are making a statement far louder than any argument could ever convey. Every pause, every withheld word, every moment of restraint is a declaration of control, a sign that you are not swayed by chaos. You begin to realize how much of life is wasted chasing approval, defending opinions, trying to prove yourself to people who are too busy fighting their own battles to see your truth. The louder the world screams, the more invisible power you claim by staying calm. And this is the moment when everything shifts. You stop being a participant in the noise and start becoming the force that shapes it. The first time you experience it, it feels subtle, almost invisible. People notice your absence from the fray before they notice the impact of your presence. Their words lose power because you do not hand it to them. Their attempts to provoke fade against your calm. And in that silence, you find something far more valuable than victory in a shouting match. You find clarity. The clarity to see who is worth your time, whose opinions matter, and whose chaos is best left untouched. Every wasted word before was a distraction. Every needless argument was a trap. Now, every moment is an opportunity to act with purpose, to choose your battles wisely, and to hold your energy like a weapon. There is urgency here because the world will always try to drag you into its noise. Every conversation, every conflict, every subtle jab is a test. How often have you given away your strength without realizing it? How often have you felt depleted after defending your perspective, only to see nothing change? That pattern ends the moment you choose silence. Not avoidance, not fear, but mastery. The mastery of knowing that energy spent reacting is energy lost. That words spoken in haste can never be reclaimed. That power is preserved in the calm, in the quiet, in the measured moment. The stakes could not be higher, because every day you argue unnecessarily, you low. say a piece of the potential to act decisively where it truly matters. Intelligent silence is active. It is deliberate. It requires awareness, courage, and self-control. It is not a passive retreat, it is a strategic advance. When you listen instead of react, when you observe instead of defend, the world begins to reveal itself in ways that words can never uncover. You notice the contradictions in others. You understand the hidden motives. You see opportunities to influence, to lead, to rise above the chaos, all while others are trapped in their own endless cycle of noise. Every moment of restraint strengthens you. Every argument avoided builds your clarity. Every battle unchosen preserves your energy for the fights that truly matter. And then comes the transformation. You start moving through life unshaken, untouchable by trivial conflicts, unexhausted by the drama that consumes so many. People still argue. They still demand attention. They still try to pull you into their storms. But you have learned the secret. The storm does not define you. The reactions of others do not dictate your strength. Your power lies in your ability to remain steady, to act with purpose, to influence without shouting, to achieve without proving yourself. Every silent moment becomes a foundation, every pause a fortress, every measured response a weapon of quiet dominance. This is not a theory, it is a choice, a daily conscious decision to hold your words, to measure your actions, to resist the temptation to react. It is a commitment to your own clarity, your own strength, your own freedom. The world will not stop testing you. It will try to provoke, to anger, to distract. But every time you succeed in holding your silence, you claim victory. Every withheld word becomes power. Every observed contradiction becomes insight. Every avoided conflict becomes a step closer to mastery. And when you finally embrace this fully, you realize that you no longer need to fight to be seen, to be heard, or to be understood. You already are. The stakes are too high, the rewards too great to squander your presence on noise. Every choice to speak in haste is a choice to weaken yourself. Every choice to pause, to reflect, to observe is a choice to grow stronger than anyone else in the room. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is dominance. Silence is freedom. It is the invisible force that allows the intelligent to rise, to endure, and to shape their world in ways the loudest voices never could. And now the power is yours to wield. The clarity is yours to claim. The quiet mastery is yours to live. Step into it fully, because life does not wait, and the moments you spend reacting are moments lost forever. Every step you take into silence is a step toward unshakable power. The world around you will continue to scream, to demand, to provoke. People will try to pull you into arguments, into pointless battles, into conflicts that leave only exhaustion behind. But now you see it differently. You know that every reaction surrendered is a piece of your control lost. Every impulsive word thrown in anger is energy stolen from your focus, your clarity, your purpose. And every moment you resist, every pause you take, every observation you make builds an invisible strength no one can see, but everyone eventually feels. It starts subtly. You notice how less you are distracted by petty disputes, how your mind begins to cut through the noise, to see the essence of people, situations, and problems that others are blind to. While everyone else fights for recognition, you cultivate presence. While they are trapped in their need to be right, you hold space for understanding. Every moment you remain composed, you gain insight. You understand what truly matters, and what is just a distraction. You begin to realize that most of the chaos around you is a reflection of insecurity, fear, and ego, and you no longer have to participate. The urgency grows because time is relentless. Every wasted argue meant is a lost opportunity to act decisively where it matters most. Every energy spent on proving yourself is energy that could have been invested in creating, building, or leading. You can feel it, the pull to react, the temptation to defend, the instinct to assert your point. But the intelligent do not give in. They pause, they breathe, they watch. And in that stillness they gather power. Every word they eventually speak is measured, deliberate, unavoidable. It lands with authority because it is rare, intentional, necessary. Every word not spoken is a victory of control over chaos. This is where mastery begins. Every conflict avoided, every response measured, every moment of restraint compounds into influence far stronger than any argument could achieve. People reveal their true intentions when they confront someone who does not react. Their flaws, their contradictions, their impulsive patterns emerge unmasked. And while they are lost in the heat of their own noise, you are gathering insight, preparing your next move, shaping outcomes without anyone realizing it. The silent observer sees everything and is rarely seen in return. That is power few ever understand, and even fewer achieve. Every choice to hold your silence reinforces your position. You stop wasting precious energy on battles that will never matter. You stop giving away your focus to those who thrive on conflict. You begin to act only where your action matters, only where your voice can create change, only where your presence can shift outcomes. Every pause becomes intentional. Every withheld word becomes a tool. Every moment of calm becomes a fortress. You realize that true strength is measured not by volume, not by force, but by restraint, by the ability to shape outcomes quietly without surrendering your energy or your clarity. And now the transformation becomes visible, not to others, but to yourself. You move through life unshaken, untouchable by trivial disputes, unexhausted by the drama that consumes so many. The world will continue to test you. It will challenge your patience. It will provoke your instincts. But every time you succeed in holding your silence, you claim victory. Every withheld reaction strengthens your presence. Every observation deepens your understanding. Every avoided argument preserves your energy for what truly matters. You no longer chase recognition or validation because your power does not depend on it. You are steady. You are decisive. You are unstoppable. The stakes could not be higher because the path you are on is one few choose and even fewer master. The world rewards reaction and noise, but it never lasts. Silence endures, control endures, insight endures. And once you embrace it fully, you see that you no longer need to fight to be heard or to prove yourself. You already possess a strength that commands attention without effort, influence without demand, and clarity without explanation. The quiet mastery you have claimed now guides every choice, every word, every action. And in that mastery, you finally understand that intelligence is not shown in arguments won, but in silence preserved, power protected, and presence mastered. Step into it fully, guard it fiercely. Let it shape who you are, what you do, and how you move through every challenge. The world will not wait, and the moments lost in reaction are moments gone forever. Every pause you hold, every word you restrain, every act of silent mastery compounds into a force that cannot be challenged, a mind that cannot be shaken, a life that cannot be wasted. This is your power. This is your clarity. This is your freedom. Embrace it completely, because nothing else will ever give you the control, the insight, and the unstoppable presence that silence provides. Every choice to remain silent is a choice to rise above. Every moment you resist the pull to react, you gain power that cannot be taken. The world will always try to provoke, to anger, to distract, to trap you in conflict that leads nowhere. Every shouted opinion, every angry retort, every desperate argument is a chain that binds the mind to exhaustion and frustration. But when you hold your silence, when you breathe, when you observe instead of reacting, you break free. You step into a space of clarity where thoughts are sharper, vision is clearer, and decisions are made with precision rather than impulse. You begin to see that most battles are illusions, distractions designed to waste energy and scatter attention. The urgency of this understanding cannot be overstated. Time moves relentlessly. In every wasted moment, arguing is energy stolen from the life you could be building, from the focus you could be sharpening, from the presence you could be cultivating. The temptation to respond is fierce. The pull to defend your position is strong. And yet, every time you resist, every time you pause, every time you choose to watch rather than speak, you are claiming a victory few understand, few recognize, and few ever achieve. This is where the intelligent diverge from the reactive. They see the chaos for what it is, and they refuse to be swept away. They know that true influence is not measured by the volume of words, but by the weight of presence, by the clarity of thought, by the precision of action. Silence sharpens the mind. Silence protects energy. Silence reveals truth. Every unspoken word becomes a tool. Every withheld reaction a weapon. Every measured observation a strategic advantage. People reveal themselves when confronted with someone who does not react. Contradictions surface. Ego exposes itself. Motives become clear. While others are lost in the heat of their own noise, you gain understanding. You see paths, opportunities, and outcomes that are invisible to the reactive mind. You begin to operate on a level that is calm, controlled, and unstoppable. Do not underestimate the stakes. Every argument you engage in without purpose costs you more than time. It costs clarity, strength, and focus. Every reactive moment chips away at your presence, your energy, your ability to act where it truly matters. Every unnecessary confrontation is a trap designed to distract you from what is meaningful. And yet, the power of restraint grows quietly but relentlessly within you. Every pause compounds, every measured response strengthens, every silent moment builds an unshakable presence. You are no longer a participant in chaos. You are the force that moves through it, untouchable, deliberate, precise. The world rewards reaction and volume with temporary attention, but it is fleeting. Silence endures, control endures, influence endures. When you embrace it fully, you move through life with authority invisible to those who cannot understand it. You do not need to fight for validation, for respect, or for recognition. Your mastery is internal. Your power is quiet. Your presence commands attention because it is rare, deliberate, and undeniable. You act decisively because you have preserved your energy. You influence without trying because your clarity allows insight no shouting voice can match. This is the life of the intelligent. This is the strength few attain. Every restrained reaction is a statement. Every observed contradiction is a lesson. Every argument avoided is a victory. You are free from the need to prove, to defend, to react. You are free to act with purpose, to lead with clarity, to move with power. And now, as you continue, the only question that remains is this: will you allow the world to dictate your energy, your focus, your presence? Or will you step fully into the quiet mastery that preserves your strength, sharpens your mind, and commands your life? The choice is yours. The time is now. Every word withheld, every pause taken, every moment of deliberate silence is a step toward the unstoppable, unshakable version of yourself that has always been waiting. Embrace it, claim it, live it, because nothing else can ever give you the clarity. Thank you, the power and the freedom that silence provides. Every moment you resist the urge to react, you step closer to a version of yourself that others can never shake. The world thrives on noise, on argument, on reaction, because it feeds energy, not clarity. Every time you resist, every time you pause, every time you choose observation over engagement, you are creating a space that no one else can invade. That space is your advantage. That space is your power. It allows you to see more clearly, think more deeply, and act more decisively than anyone who is lost in the chaos of their own need to be heard. The louder the world pushes, the stronger your silence becomes. The more others demand, the more control you claim by stepping back and holding your ground. Feel it in your chest, that sense of liberation that comes with restraint. Every wasted word before was a chain. Every reaction to provocation before was a trap. Every argument you engaged in without purpose was a drain on your your energy and your potential. Now every pause is a step toward mastery. Every silent observation sharpens your understanding. Every moment you resist responding compounds into a power that is invisible, yet undeniable. You begin to see the invisible currents that guide people's actions, the subtle manipulations, the hidden motivations, and the empty gestures behind every outburst. While others fight for recognition, you watch, you learn, you grow stronger. The urgency is real. Life does not wait, and every moment lost in reaction is a moment you can never reclaim. Every energy spent on pointless conflict is energy stolen from creating, from leading, from achieving. You cannot afford to waste another second chasing validation through argument or defending yourself against those who thrive on chaos. Your strength, your influence, your clarity, these are not found in reaction. They are forged in restraint, in awareness, in the disciplined use of silence. Every measured pause, key is a building block. Every withheld word is a step toward dominance over your own life. This is where intelligence turns into strategy. Silence is not avoidance. It is deliberate. It is active. It is a tool that allows you to conserve energy, see the truth, and act decisively. While others are trapped in the heat of their own reactions, you gain insight. You notice contradictions. You observe weaknesses. You understand the true stakes. Your actions carry weight because they are intentional. Your words land with impact because they are rare, necessary, and precise. You become a force that cannot be distracted, a presence that cannot be undermined, a mind that cannot be rattled. The transformation is unstoppable once you embrace it. You begin to move through life with calm, clarity, and purpose. The chaos around you no longer dictates your energy. The insults, the provocations, the unnecessary conflicts, they slide past because they hold no power over you. Every silent victory strength ends your mind, sharpens your instincts, and preserves your presence. You start acting only where it matters, speaking only when it serves, influencing without effort, and leading without demanding attention. Every decision becomes deliberate. Every move becomes strategic. Every interaction becomes a chance to assert influence quietly but undeniably. Do not underestimate what this can do for your life. Every unnecessary argument avoided is freedom gained. Every withheld reaction is strength preserved. Every observation made without interference is insight earned. You no longer need the approval of others to validate your worth. You no longer need to fight for attention to claim your space. You are unshakable, deliberate, and unstoppable because your power comes from within. It is silent, it is enduring, and it is yours to wield. Step fully into it. Protect it fiercely. Every choice to pause, to observe, to hold your words, to act with precision is a declaration. You are no longer apart. Isopin in chaos. You are the calm at the center of it. You are the mind that sees, the heart that controls, the presence that shapes outcomes. This is not just restraint. This is mastery. This is the path to a life where your energy is yours, your influence is undeniable, and your clarity is unbreakable. Every moment you practice this, you rise higher. Every moment you embrace it, you become the intelligent force the world cannot ignore, the quiet power that shapes reality without anyone realizing it. Every word you choose not to speak is a victory that no one else can see, but everyone eventually feels. Every argument you avoid preserves energy that would otherwise be wasted on chaos. The world will continue to push, to provoke, to demand reaction, but you have learned a secret that few ever grasp. Power is preserved in restraint. Every heated exchange is a trap designed to scatter your focus and weaken your presence. Every impulsive reaction is a gift given to the noise. But when you pause, when you observe, when you hold your words, you step into a space where clarity reigns and influence becomes invisible yet undeniable. Feel it in your chest, the quiet surge of strength that comes from holding back, from mastering the moment. Every instance you resist reacting, you grow sharper, wiser, stronger. You begin to notice what others miss, the subtle cracks in logic, the hidden motives, the patterns of behavior that reveal the truth beneath the chaos. People reveal themselves in their reactions, their contradictions surface, their flaws become visible. And while they are trapped in the heat of their own voices, you gain insight, perspective, and a calm control that no argument could ever give. The urgency of this truth cannot be overstated. Every wasted reaction is energy lost. Every word spoken in haste is power surrendered. Every battle engaged without purpose steals time from the life you could be building, from the clarity you could be cultivating, from the NCE you could be commanding. You cannot afford to give away your strength to trivial conflicts. Every choice to pause, to watch, to listen, to remain silent compounds into influence that is far stronger than any shouting could achieve. Every withheld word is a tool. Every careful observation is a weapon. Every moment of quiet is a step toward mastery over your life and your surroundings. Intelligent silence is not passive. It is deliberate. It is active. It requires awareness, courage, and control. It allows you to conserve energy, see what is real, and act decisively in ways that reaction never permits. While others scramble to be heard, you gain insight. While they are distracted by their own need to prove themselves, you see opportunity, strategy, and truth. Your actions carry weight because they are intentional. Your presence commands attention because it is rare. Your words land with impact because they are chosen, precise, and necessary. You become a force that cannot be swayed, a mind that cannot be rattled, a presence that cannot be diminished. This transformation is relentless. You move through life unshaken, untouchable by the chaos that consumes so many. The insults, provocations, and conflicts that once drained you now slide past without effect. Every silent victory strengthens your clarity. Every observation made without interference sharpens your instincts. Every argument avoided preserves your energy for what truly matters. You act decisively, speak only when it serves, and influence without effort. Every decision becomes deliberate. Every interaction becomes a strategic opportunity. Every pause compounds into a power that is invisible yet undeniable. Do not underestimate the significance of this. Every argument avoided is freedom gained. Every reaction restrained is strength preserved. Every silent observation is insight earned. You no longer need to prove yourself to the world. You no longer need to fight for validation. Your power is internal. Your influence is quiet. Your clarity is unshakable. You are deliberate. You are precise. You are unstoppable. Step fully into this mastery. Protect it fiercely. Every choice to pause, to observe, to hold your words, to act with intention is a declaration. You are not a participant in chaos. You are the calm at its center. You are the mind that sees, the heart that controls, the presence that shapes outcomes. This is not restraint. This is dominance. This is the path to a life where your energy is yours, your focus is preserved, and your influence is undeniable. Every moment you live in this way, you rise higher, act with purpose, and become a force the world cannot ignore, a quiet power that shapes reality without being noticed, yet impossible to dismiss. Every time you choose to remain silent, you claim a power that words could never give. Every pause is a declaration of control, a quiet assertion that you will not be swept away by the chaos of others. The world thrives on noise, on argu, mints, on reactions, because they consume energy and scatter focus. Every shouted opinion, every desperate attempt to prove oneself is a trap that drains strength and clouds judgment. But in silence, you are free, you are clear, you are deliberate. Every withheld word sharpens your mind. Every moment of calm builds a presence that commands attention without effort. The louder the world shouts, the more your quiet grows, invisible yet undeniable. Feel the weight of this truth pressing in on you. Every wasted reaction, every hasty word, every fight engaged for validation or ego is energy lost forever. The pull to defend yourself is strong, the temptation to react is fierce, and yet every time you resist, you gain. Every pause becomes a fortress. Every observation compounds into insight. Every withheld argument builds a power that no one else can touch. You start to see what others cannot. Patterns emerge, motives are revealed, contradictions surface, while the reactive are trapped into their own noise. You gain clarity, perspective, and control that make you untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. Time is relentless. Every second spent arguing unnecessarily is a second you can never reclaim. Every moment lost to reaction is strength stolen from the life you could be creating. You cannot afford to waste your energy proving yourself to people who will never see your worth. Every silent choice is a strategic gain. Every deliberate pause is a tool. Every moment of restraint preserves your power for what truly matters. The world will continue to test you. It will provoke, distract, and challenge. But each time you hold your silence, you rise above. Each time you resist, you gain mastery over your mind, your focus, and your life. Silence is not weakness. It is intelligence in motion. It is strategy. It is deliberate control over energy, influence, and presence. While others argue, you observe. While they fight to be heard, you understand. Every reaction reveals a weakness. Every contradiction exposes a truth. Every impulsive word offers insight, and you use it. Every calculated action, every intentional word, every silent moment compounds into influence far stronger than any shouted argument could achieve. Your presence becomes undeniable, your insight unavoidable, your impact inevitable. The transformation is relentless. You move through life unshaken, untouched by the chaos that drains so many. Provocations slide off, conflicts fail to distract. Every silent victory strengthens your mind, sharpens your instincts, and preserves your energy. You act decisively where it matters. You speak only when necessary. You influence without effort. Every decision becomes deliberate. Every interaction strategic. Every pause a step toward mastery. Every restraint a shield. Every observation a weapon of quiet dominance. Understand this: freedom, clarity, and power born in the spaces between words. Every argument avoided is a victory. Every reaction restrained is Argu preserved. Every moment of quiet is a chance to rise above. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer need recognition or validation. Your influence is internal. Your strength is invisible. Your presence commands respect without demand. You are deliberate, precise, and unstoppable. Step fully into it. Guard it fiercely. Every withheld word, every paused reaction, every careful observation is a statement. You are not a participant in chaos. You are the calm center, the mind that sees, the heart that controls, the presence that shapes outcomes. This is mastery. This is power. This is a life where energy is yours, clarity is yours, and influence is undeniable. Every moment lived in this way compounds into unstoppable force, a quiet dominance that shapes reality without effort, without noise, without struggle. You hold it, you command it, you become it. Every moment you hold your silence, you step further into a power that cannot be challenged. Every pause, every withheld woe. Every careful observation becomes a force that shapes your life and the world around you without anyone realizing it. The world is designed to pull you into distraction, to provoke, to tempt you into reacting, to drain your energy and scatter your focus. Most people give in without a thought. They argue to prove, they speak to be heard, they fight to dominate. And while they burn themselves out, you rise above, calm, deliberate, untouchable. Every word you do not speak is a victory. Every argument you avoid is strength preserved. Feel the urgency of this now. Every second spent in reaction is energy lost forever. Every hasty word spoken in anger chips away at your clarity, your control, your presence. The world does not reward rashness, it punishes it. Every moment you react unnecessarily is a moment you could have spent gaining insight, sharpening your focus, and building influence that cannot be shaken. Your restraint is not weakness, it is dominance. It is intelligence in action. It is the quiet declaration that your mind and your energy belong to you alone. The louder the world becomes, the stronger you grow by standing firm in your calm. You begin to see patterns others miss. You notice contradictions, motives, and hidden truths that remain invisible to those lost in noise. Every outburst from others reveals something they cannot hide. Every reaction exposes a flaw. Every heated word uncovers insecurity. And while they remain trapped in their own chaos, you gain the clarity to act with precision. You see where effort is wasted, where influence is possible, where power can be exercised silently, without confrontation, without exhaustion. Your mind becomes sharper, your awareness deeper, your presence more commanding. The stakes are higher than you realize. Every argument entered without purpose costs more than time. It costs strength, clarity, and the ability to act decisively when it truly matters. Every reactive moment is a piece of your life surrendered to sea. House. But every pause, every measured breath, every observation without interference compounds into power. Your restraint becomes a shield, your silence a weapon, your composure an unshakable foundation from which you can operate at a level others cannot reach. While the reactive burn themselves out, you gain influence, insight, and freedom that is beyond reach for anyone lost in noise. Silence is intelligence in motion. It is deliberate. It is active. It is a tool that allows you to conserve energy, see the truth, and act with unstoppable precision. While others fight for attention, you gain perspective. While they scramble to be heard, you understand. Every word you speak becomes rare, intentional, and impactful. Every act you take becomes calculated and effective. You become a presence no one can manipulate, a mind no one can confuse, a force no one can weaken. Every silent victory reinforces this. Every withheld reaction compounds it. Every observation sharpens it. This is transformation. You move through life unshaken, untouchable by the petty conflicts that consume so many. Provocation slides past. Chaos cannot distract. Energy remains yours. Every decision becomes deliberate. Every interaction strategic. Every moment of restraint builds a force that is invisible, relentless, undeniable. You act decisively, speak only when necessary, influence without effort, lead without demand. Your life becomes a demonstration of quiet power, unstoppable presence, and unwavering clarity. Freedom, strength, and influence are born in the spaces between words. Every argument avoided is power gained. Every reaction restrained is energy preserved. Every moment of silence is a foundation for mastery. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer need recognition. Your power is internal. Your presence is undeniable. Your clarity is unbreakable. You are deliberate. You are precise. You are unstoppable. Step fully into it. Protect it fiercely. Every pause, every observation, very withheld word, is a declaration you are not lost in chaos. You are its center. You are the mind that sees, the heart that controls, the presence that shapes outcomes. This is mastery. This is dominance. This is the path to a life where energy, clarity, and influence belong entirely to you. Every moment lived in this way compounds into unstoppable force, a quiet power that shapes reality without effort, without noise, and without struggle. You hold it. You command it. You become it. Every choice to hold your silence is a choice to rise above the chaos that consumes so many. Every pause, every withheld word, every careful observation strengthens a power few ever realize exists. The world is built to provoke, to distract, to pull you into endless arguments and petty conflicts. Most people fall for it without hesitation, trading their energy for temporary validation, their clarity for noise, their presence for chaos. But you are different. You have learned the secret that intelligence whispers but few understand. Strength grows in stillness. Control is forged in restraint. Influence emerges from quiet observation. The louder the world screams, the more your silence amplifies your presence. Feel it. The surge of power and restraint, the calm that sharpens every thought, the focus that grows with every measured pause. Every moment you resist the impulse to react is a step toward mastery. Every argument avoided, every word held back, every observation without interfering. Compounds into clarity that no shouting voice can ever match. You begin to see the hidden currents that move people, the patterns of deception, the cracks in logic, the motives that hide behind noise. While others fight for attention, you gain insight. While they expend energy proving themselves, you preserve yours. Every moment of stillness becomes a weapon, every pause a strategic advantage, every quiet observation a step closer to unshakable power. The urgency is undeniable. Time is relentless. Every reaction wasted is strength lost forever. Every hasty word spoken in anger steals clarity, focus, and influence that could have been yours to command. The world does not reward impulse, it punishes it. Every argument entered without purpose is a chain that binds your mind to exhaustion. And yet every pause, every choice to remain silent, every calculated observation builds a foundation of control that cannot be challenged. You begin to realize that influence is not about volume, or is not about shouting. And power is not about being seen. True mastery lies in stillness, clarity, and deliberate action. Silence is not weakness. It is intelligence in motion. It is strategy in action. It is a force that allows you to conserve energy, perceive reality, and act with precision. While others scramble to be heard, you gain understanding. Every impulsive reaction exposes flaws, reveals motives, and uncovers contradictions. You see what they cannot. You act where it matters. You speak only when necessary. Every word is intentional. Every action is calculated. Your presence becomes undeniable. Your influence unstoppable. Your mind untouchable. Every restrained reaction, every observed contradiction, every withheld argument strengthens this, building a dominance that cannot be disrupted by noise. Transformation becomes inevitable. You move through life unshaken, untouched by the conflicts that drain everyone else. Provocations slide off. Chaos cannot distract. Energy Rema ends yours. Decisions are deliberate. Interactions are strategic. Moments of restraint compound into unstoppable power. You influence without effort, act decisively, and speak only when it matters. Every calculated pause builds authority. Every silent victory reinforces clarity. Every observation made without interference enhances control. You are no longer caught in reaction. You are the force that shapes outcomes quietly, deliberately, relentlessly. Understand this. Freedom, power, and influence exist in the spaces between words. Every argument avoided is strength gained. Every reaction restrained is energy preserved. Every moment of silence is a foundation for mastery. You no longer need approval or validation. Your power is internal, your clarity unshakable, your presence undeniable. You are deliberate, you are precise, you are unstoppable. Step fully into it, guard it fiercely. Every withheld word, every pause reaction, every careful observation declares that you are not lost in chaos. You are the calm at its center, the mind that sees, the presence that shapes outcomes, the heart that controls. This is mastery. This is dominance. This is a life where energy, focus, and influence belong entirely to you. Every moment lived in this way compounds into quiet, relentless force, a power that shapes reality without effort, without noise, without struggle. You hold it, you command it, you become it. Every moment you hold your silence, you build a strength that cannot be measured by noise or applause. Every withheld word, every pause, every deliberate choice not to react compounds into a power that becomes visible not in what you say, but in what you don't. The world is designed to pull you into endless arguments, to provoke, to distract, to waste your energy. Most people surrender to it without thought, giving away their focus, their clarity, their presence. But you have discovered the truth few understand, the mind that observes, the heart that restrains, and the prayers. Hence that commands without sound is the force that shapes reality. The louder the world shouts, the stronger you grow, invisible yet undeniable. Feel it deep inside, the quiet surge of control that comes from restraint. Every moment you resist reacting, every time you pause instead of answering, every observation without interference strengthens your clarity. You begin to notice what others miss. You see patterns, motives, and contradictions that remain hidden to the reactive mind. Every impulsive word, every hasty argument, every desperate attempt to be heard exposes weakness, reveals ego, and uncovers insecurity. And while others burn their energy proving themselves, you preserve yours. Every pause becomes a weapon, every silent observation a strategic advantage, every moment of restraint a step toward mastery. Time is relentless. Every reaction wasted is strength lost forever. Every argument entered without purpose steals focus, clarity, and energy that could have been used to act decisively where it matters most. The temptation to respond is intense. The pull to defend yourself is fierce. And yet every choice to remain silent, every moment of calculated observation, every withheld word builds a fortress of power around your mind. You begin to realize that influence is not measured by how loudly you speak. True power is forged in stillness, deliberate action, and insight that comes from observing without reacting. Silence is intelligence made visible. It is active, deliberate, and strategic. While others fight for attention, you see clearly. While they scramble to be heard, you understand deeply. Every word you eventually speak carries weight. Every action you take becomes precise. Every interaction is measured. Your presence becomes commanding. Your influence unstoppable. Your clarity untouchable. The world may not notice at first, but it feels the effect. Every withheld reaction, every silent victory, every observation made without engagement compounds into a ominous that cannot be challenged by noise. Transformation becomes inevitable. You move through life unshaken, untouchable by the petty conflicts that exhaust so many. Provocations slide off. Chaos cannot penetrate. Energy remains yours. Every decision is deliberate. Every interaction strategic. Every moment of restraint strengthens your foundation of mastery. You act decisively, speak only when necessary, and influence outcomes without effort. The life of the reactive is chaotic and exhausting. Your life, built on restraint and observation, is powerful, purposeful, and unstoppable. Understand this, freedom, clarity, and influence are born in the spaces between words. Every argument avoided is a victory. Every withheld reaction is energy preserved. Every moment of quiet is a step toward mastery. You no longer need approval, validation, or recognition. Your power is internal. Your presence commands respect without demand. Your clarity is unshakable. You are deliberate. You are precise. You are unstoppable. Step fully into it. Protect it fiercely. Every withheld word, every paused reaction, every careful observation declares that you are not caught in chaos. You are the calm at the center, the mind that sees, the presence that shapes outcomes, the heart that controls. This is mastery. This is dominance. This is a life where energy, clarity, and influence belong entirely to you. Every moment lived in this way compounds into quiet, relentless force, a power that shapes reality without effort, without noise, without struggle. You hold it, you command it, you become it. Every time you choose silence, you are claiming a power few even recognize. Every withheld word, every careful pause, every moment you resist reacting is a step toward mastery over your mind, your energy, and your life. The world is designed to pull you into argument, to provoke, to distract, to steal your focus. Most people fall into it willingly. They fight to be heard. They argue to be right. They expede. Indeed, their energy proving themselves to others. And in doing so, they lose clarity, presence, and control. But you are different. You have discovered the force that quiet minds wield, the strength that comes not from noise, but from restraint, the influence that emerges not from shouting, but from deliberate observation. Feel it in your chest, the surge of calm power that comes from holding back. Every instant you resist reacting, every moment you pause, every observation without interference compounds into insight that no impulsive voice can ever match. You begin to notice what others miss. Patterns emerge, motives are revealed, contradictions surface. Every outburst from others exposes insecurity. Every desperate argument shows weakness. Every reaction wasted is a lesson for you. While they are lost in chaos, you gain clarity. While they burn energy proving themselves, you conserve yours. Every silent observation, every withheld response, every measured pause is a step toward unshakable strength. Time is urgent. Every second spent arguing unnecessarily is energy stolen from your potential. Every reactive word spoken in haste chips away at your focus, your clarity, and your influence. The world does not reward those who react. It punishes them. And yet, every pause, every withheld argument, every moment of deliberate silence builds a fortress of power around your mind. Influence is not measured by volume. Victory is not determined by noise. Power is forged in the spaces between words, in the control of one's reactions, in the discipline to act only when it matters. Silence is not passive. It is deliberate. It is strategic. It is intelligence in motion. While others scramble to be heard, you see. While they fight to prove themselves, you understand. Every word you speak becomes rare, precise, and impactful. Every action becomes intentional and effective. Your presence commands attention without effort. Your influence becomes unstoppable. Every withheld reaction, every silent victory, every careful observation compounds into a dominance that cannot be shaken. The chaos around you may rage, but you remain unshaken. Every silent decision reinforces your power. Every controlled act magnifies your presence. Every measured pause strengthens your influence. The transformation is unstoppable. You move through life untouchable by the conflicts that exhaust others. Provocation slides past. Drama cannot distract. Energy remains yours. Every choice becomes deliberate. Every interaction strategic. Every moment of restraint builds a force invisible yet undeniable. You act decisively where it matters. You speak only when necessary. You influence without effort. Every silent victory, every withheld word, every calculated pause makes you stronger, sharper, and more commanding than anyone around you. Understand this: freedom, clarity, and influence are born in the spaces between words. Every argument avoided is strength gained. Every reaction restrained is energy preserved. Every silent observation is insight earned. You no longer need approval. You no longer need recognition. Your power is internal. Your presence commands respect without demand. Your clarity is unshakable. You are deliberate. You are precise. You are unstoppable. Step fully into it. Guard it fiercely. Every withheld word, every pause, reaction, every careful observation declares that you are not lost in chaos. You are the calm at its center, the mind that sees, the presence that shapes outcomes, the heart that controls. This is mastery. This is dominance. This is a life where energy, clarity, and influence belong entirely to you. Every moment lived in this way compounds into quiet, relentless force, a power that shapes reality without effort, without noise, without struggle. You hold it. You command it. You become it.